Hey folks, we heard all this buzz around communities and community management. Today, we'll check out all about that. Welcome to Career Talk Show. Today we're going to be talking about the role called Community Manager. And here we have with us Anirban Datta, who has worked as Community Manager with global brands like BMC and Optimize. He's built and managed communities for these brands. Thank you very much, Anir, for taking the time out for us today.
Wow, thanks to you, man, for having me.
So let's dive in, Anir. Can you help us understand what is this community? What is this all about?
Yeah, so I'll be short and in reference to online communities. Communities are there, right, for whatever idea, and it's just not connected, right? So people are talking about your brand. People want to understand your industry. People want to criticize your brand. People want to compare vendors, right? So all of that is happening in silos all over the internet, right? So community gives you a connected platform to have some of those conversations as an extension to your brand. So putting together that is not really the front end, but kind of like the mid-tier for your brand, and I would call that's the community for a brand.
Okay, is it something like going on social media and advertising your brand? Is it something related to that?
Well, communities is social for sure, but it's a bit broader and long term than social media, right? Social media could just be a tweet or a Facebook post, that initial heads up that hey, something is out from the brand and this is something we want you to take notice. But a community is a conversation between the people who would actually be experiencing your brand and the brand themselves, right? So it's now personalizing your brand. It's no more just a product or a service or an installation on the server. It's now all the human beings who have built it, who take care of it, who serve it, talking directly to the folks who are using it and facing pains, getting frustrated or are happy, and it's how you channelize those conversations. It's like direct marketing, right? It's like direct sales, right? Directly from the manufacturer to the consumer. And it's how you expand on that by providing value to the end user, and then they become more open to talk about your brand and give you more time.
So, Anil, it looks like a very interesting profile, community manager. So can you tell us, what do you do at your job? So how exactly do you build this community, or what do you do?
Yeah, well, let me go back to the earlier community part. I'm sure it sounds nice, but the community does not build out itself.
Okay.
Right? Just like Optimize did not build out itself. So as a community manager, I have to build out the community so that to identify and connect all these different groups of users in various parts of the world and say that, hey, you can come on board on this one platform, and these are the kind of immediate values you would get right straight off the bat, right? As an expedited support, right? Who wants to enter a support ticket and wait for weeks? And if that's the strategy, if you have a product question, you can ask a question, and then who would answer? Probably the people who directly worked on the product themselves might answer, right? So I extend them these immediate advantages, and then I got their ears. Okay. And then I say, hey, why not you take a look at this blog posts we have come up with, right? It's all the issues that you faced in the last year, and you don't even have to go in and ask them anymore because we have collated them and they are out as blog posts, right? How about, have you faced these business issues before, right? And so we know this is how your day goes, so we have blog posted that, right? So I start connecting all these pools of people, and I start nurturing and developing them and building a stickiness around the brand. And then when I have a large pool of people talking about, and not directly about, it's not just marketing, you see, it could start with a pain point right? And I could take cues from it and develop that into thought leadership, develop that into, okay, so what would you like to see in our product? And I'm not making any promises on the camera,
Okay.
but we could pay attention to the continual demands of the audience, and we can take that into our product development strategy and shape the product, kind of like crowdsourced product development. So, all of this would not happen by itself. You need a solid strategy, you need one platform, and you need somebody whose full-time job is just to pursue these, to fire off these connections.
That's
right?
true.
So that's my full-time job, right? Not to be on the computer much, but to be where the people are, right? So if they're in the office, be there. If they could be, I could have an extension like a user group where the end users could come, organizing some of that to make that conversation happening around the globe. In many cases, and almost always, I'm not the SME, right? If you ask me a Java question, I'm clueless, right? But hey, I could connect you to a Java guy, right? So that's what I do, right? Connecting SMEs around the world.
So the way I see it, you're more like everybody's friend, and then you help them connect, and you set up that place or environment where people can connect and interact and get their problems sorted out. Is that something like that?
That's very sweet of you, mate. I'd love to be defined that way. Yeah, but yes.
Sounds like a really cool job to me. Anup, thanks for answering our questions and helping us understand community management better. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I hope I was of any help.
Certainly. Thanks.